Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well. Today, you tune in and see this. And if you have already celebrated a holiday during this time, happy holidays. And if you just started or your holidays coming up, happy holidays, all right. So I don't know if you guys can see this. My mom actually got me this incense thing that I saw online, and it's supposed to like look like a waterfall. So it's actually really cool. So I got that going in the background. Shout out to mom. All right, so I'm just gonna put this over here so you can watch the waterfall still, maybe you can see it. So this is going to be a general reading for Aquarius. So I've already pulled all of your cards here, and we're going to get into reading in just a moment. Just want to go over a couple of things. So this is a general reading, so it can cover love, friends, work, family, health, etc. And what else? This is also a timeless reading. So for instance, for some of you guys, it could resonate 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, a year in the past or a year in the future, beyond and before the original timestamp for the title, which is November 24th through January 2nd, 2022 of next year. So we're going to go a little bit back in time, right, to about the week of November 24th or so, and we're going to cover that 6 weeks period and go into the week that we're in now, finishing up, okay, since it's Saturday, the 25th, I think, yeah. And then we're going to go into next week as well, okay? And I just wanted to also let you guys know the next series of readings, I'll be starting with Capricorn, since it's still Capricorn season. And then my computer keeps turning. I'm trying to not have the TV in the background. I'll be starting with Capricorn since it's Capricorn season, and then I'll be going backwards through the signs since you guys had to wait a little bit. So it'll be Capricorn, Pisces, Aquarius. Okay, so you will get the next series of readings for the new year, and after that, before the other signs. Okay. What else? This is also a reading where if it doesn't resonate necessarily with you, it could be about the person that you're dealing with, or multiple people that you're dealing with, or your general environment situation. So always keep that in mind. And even if you are not a sun sign Aquarius, rising sign Aquarius, or even moon Aquarius, this reading may still resonate for you, since we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our chart, our individual birth chart. So, depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your moon sign or your rising sign or even your sun sign. Okay, so that's why I encourage everyone, if they haven't already, to get a free birth chart online, even if you don't know your exact birth time, and find out your other placements, okay, just to get a full picture of everything. So I think that's pretty much it. So I am going to do a little sound bell here just for some general grounding for the reading and healing. I finally found it in one of my boxes since I moved a couple months ago. Still unpacking slowly. So if you are listening with headphones, it may get a little loud, just be aware. All right, and then we will get into reading here, Aquarius. Just have a little music here. Background is much for the dogs, so they don't go too crazy. All right, so let's do our sound bell and set my timer here. All right. All right, Aquarius. let's get into it. And I do hope that everyone is doing well whenever you see this video. All right. Can't believe the incense thing is almost done. I'll have to light another one. I don't know if you guys can see, but it looks really cool. It's like a waterfall. Check it out. Ooh. I think it's not going down as much anymore because it's almost done burning. So you know what? I'm going to grab another one real quick. I don't know. It's really relaxing. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I don't know where. Put my lighter. Oh, here it is. That's interesting. Those little things don't last that long. And there it goes. You can see it. I wonder if I turn my other light on. Hold on, guys. This light usually is too bright, but can you see the incense? Okay, cool. Anyway, it's not essential. I don't know. I'm just playing with it. My mom just got it for me. Okay. Anyway, Aquarius, let's get into your reading. Without further ado here. So if you are new, first of all, welcome. And even if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate everyone's energy, your views, your likes, your shares, etc. And your subscription, since it is free. If you check out this video and you haven't subscribed yet and you want to, it is free. All you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure it's blue and it's active. And then it'll just notify you when I put out new videos. All right, so we're going to start with your first group of cards here. In the center, we'll talk about also your confirmation cards and what's on the top and the bottom of the other deck here, since we're using two different decks, okay? And then we'll go into the second group of cards, and then at the very end, we have some oracle cards as well. So, all right, get all my little crystals here. So I'll go ahead and call out the cards here, and then we'll go in order. So Aquarius, you have the King of Staves, also known as King of Wands, right side up, the Hermit, right side up, Ace of Swords in the reverse, Queen of Swords in the reverse, Eight of Swords, right side up, the High Priestess in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Eight of Staves, also known as Eight of Wands, right side up, and the Five of Swords, right side up. All right. And also, I forgot to mention it earlier, that I do take one photo at the end of all the cards and I post it after the live is done. So if you want to check that out and see it in more detail, all you have to do is go in the description box below there and follow the instructions on where to see it if you want to check it out. But this first row that we're talking about here, let me just move this a little bit. This first row over here that we're talking about, this is the week of November 29th or so. It's not exact, maybe a little bit before, a little bit after. This second row is the week, oh, I said that wrong. The first row is November 24th or so. The second row is November 29th, and then the third row is December 6th, okay? So just keep that in mind as well. All right, so the first card we start off here with Aquarius is really positive. It's the King of Staves, also known as the King of Wands, in the right side up position here. Sometimes this is why I haven't been using this light, because it's sometimes a little bit too bright, okay? But you see this Egyptian man here. He's a king, right? He's got a lion on each side. There's a lot of fiery energy here. And this is about confidence. This is about having a lot of support around you. Also, having all the tools that you need, right? Being in a position of authority or higher level above others really come to you for advice or something, okay? Now, this, if you find that this isn't you, Aquarius, it could be the other person that you're dealing with, or multiple people, or your general environment situation. But either way, it is very grounding energy. It's forward momentum. It's positive energy. So this is really beautiful to start off your reading here with. Now, before we get too before we go too much into your reading, I do want to call out the other zodiac signs that I see here as far as the major arcana, and then we'll go back to where we were in the reading. So we have Virgo, we have Pisces, we have you a little bit in Aquarius. You're in Aquarius, right? With the Wheel of Fortune, you have that twice. It's a repeating card. We'll go over what that means later. You have a little bit of Leo energy, a little bit of Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini. I think that's it. Okay, so we'll list them again real quick. Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini. Actually, you have Leo twice. So yeah. So what does that mean? It could mean nothing to you at all, but it could also mean that you're dealing with someone that is one of those signs, or they have a lot of those signs predominantly in their chart, or you do, or again, it means nothing at all. But I wanted to mention it before I forget. Oh my God. Anyway, moving forward, I'm like, okay, can I talk here? It happens, right? It's the holidays, and we're drinking our coffee. All right, so when we talk about Virgo energy, here it shows up as your second card. This is the Hermit in the right side up position here. I think if I hold it there, you can see it better. And so this is really about introspection, about going within, finding your own answers, maybe taking a break socially in some way, because he's off on the cliff on his own, right, looking outwards. He's a man of a certain age, right, also kind of denotes wisdom, right? So the more you know yourself, the more wise people say that you are, or you can know other things better. But first, it's like know thyself, right? So this is really nice energy here, Aquarius, following the King of Staves or the King of Wands that we just talked about. So it's like this confident, supportive energy, this creative, passionate energy, this introspection, this going forward within, which is a perfect time, depending on where you are in the world. The winter time is usually when we're not outside as much, right? So we have that chance to go inward, okay? Now, your third card is a little bit of a blockage here. It starts a kind of series of blockages that doesn't last too long, maybe for about a week or so, or a couple days. It depends, right? Since this is a general reading, but it is the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. So this talks about a little bit of mental confusion coming out here, maybe towards the end of that first week of November 24th or so. It's also about maybe a new beginning not happening quite yet. It could also just be having a hard time cutting through distractions or unnecessary details. So it could be that there's a lot of things that are overwhelming you in your mind mentally in some way. It could be anxiety, worry, overthinking, stress in general, okay? But we'll figure out why this blockage is here, and just know that there are really amazing cards coming out in your reading. So don't worry too much about, just that one card here. Now, actually, before we go forward, I want to talk. Well, I guess I could wait to talk about it. I'm trying to figure out when to talk about your what's on top of one of your decks here at the top and the bottom. I'll wait till we get to the third row to kind of go there, because it connects to all of these cards in the first group, the first 9, but I'll wait to talk about it, because yeah. All right, we figure it out as we go along. Now, your fourth card here, when it's following the Ace of Swords in reverse that we talked about, this is the Queen of Swords in reverse. So it's another kind of same energy of having some type of mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, right? But when we talk about any type of queen in the reverse position, it also could be you're feeling a lack of your own power, or the other person is a general environment situation. It could also be that you are not wanting to be in a leadership role, or the other person in general environment situation. It could also have something to do with emotions clouding your mental clarity or your normal clear judgment that you might have, because normally when this card is in the right side up position, you see this Japanese woman and she's towering over this island in the middle of the ocean. So the ocean represents our emotions in the tarot, right? But it's in the reverse here, okay? Going forward, your last kind of swords card that's in the negative position here, okay, is the Eight of Swords in the right side up position. And this is your fifth tarot card in this reading, okay? So the Eight of Swords is right side up. So you see this Japanese woman here and she's fanning herself. She's tired. She's stressed out, okay? The swords are going down, and when they go down in the tarot or when the card is reversed, right, that's that stress, anxiety, overthinking, staying up late at night, all of those things. Now, there's also water in the background of this card. Okay, let me just turn that down, which talks about she's trying to channel her emotions. Maybe she's kind of aware in some way, and it's a metaphor. It's just a woman in the card, but you could be a man, whatever, however you identify, right? But she could be aware of these emotions in some way, clouding her judgment, but she hasn't figured out yet how to reverse that or change that, okay? Now going forward into your sixth card here, Aquarius, you have this Pisces energy, the High Priestess in the reverse position. So this talks about maybe the reason why there is all this mental confusion, right? Lack of mental clarity could be because someone is not using their intuition the way that they normally would, okay, with the High Priestess in the reverse position here, okay? It could also be some creative blockages or just general stagnant energy. It could also be that someone here isn't, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, they're not like utilizing knowledge, right? Because she's holding a scroll. So that maybe has something to do with studies or with your own writing or plans for the future in some way. There's like this stagnant energy here. But I feel like it's mainly because you're not using your intuition. And it's really interesting, right? Because when we go back to your second card, you have the Hermit in the right side up position, which is all about introspection and finding your own light and answers within. And then the next week, it's like the opposite, okay? So we'll talk about, maybe why this is kind of happening or triggering here for you or the other person, okay? And this is actually, this is a perfect place where we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here. Now, this is the Llewellyn deck. It's the one with the yellow border here, okay? And this is past energy. So when we starting with your reading here in that first row, right? This was energy around November 24th or so, a little bit before, a little bit after. But it could have been recent past energy kind of hanging out, right? But then over here, this is further back past, like the way, way back past. And you have to ask yourself, what is the recent past? A couple days ago, months, years, weeks, etc. What is the way, way back past, further past that? Same kind of thing, okay? But what you have here is the Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position. And remember, I said the Wheel of Fortune does have a little bit of this Aquarius energy as well, okay? But, it's not the star card, right? It's not your official card, but it does have some Aquarius energy there. So when we talk about these two cards in relation to all of the cards we have here, even though we haven't finished your last row in the first section yet, it's kind of like, okay, so in the recent past, perhaps you here, Aquarius, let go of some controlling energy, let go of some operating out of fear energy or just really restrictive, tight energy, because normally when the Four of Pentacles is right side up, he's hugging his coins, his four coins really too tightly, okay? And it's like that controlling, restricted energy. And he's like, oh my God, there's not enough pentacles. I got to hold on to these really tight. But the more that you do that, you get the opposite effect, right? So the more that you kind of let go of control a little bit, however it relates to your situation, if it's romantic, platonic, with friends or family, or work situation, creative, whatever, right? It's like loosen the reins a little bit. So when you started to do that, or the other person, general environment, situation, then you have the Wheel of Fortune coming in. And this is all about luck and abundance and things turning in your favor and creative energy. Okay. And remember, this is the way, way back past, whatever that means for you. Now, going forward, when we talk about one of your repeating cards here, now you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay, so this is the current present energies in the first, in the week of in the week of December 6th. Okay, and then you have this past energy that we just talked about. It's the same card, okay, different decks. So when that happens, that's really a message from Spirit to take really particular, closer attention to why this message is coming out, because there's usually 72 cards in every deck, okay? So that's 1 in 72 chances that it's going to come out again. And I do a lot of shuffling and cutting of the deck, okay? But it still means the same thing as far as that it's a particular message they really want you to focus on, even if one of the cards is in the reverse position. So, sorry, I'm just turn the music up a little bit. Okay. So it's almost like when you, just to go back a little bit, or the other person, general environment, situation, started to let go of that restrictive energy that operated out of a place of fear or lack, then more abundance came in, luck was on your side, right? But when it shows up in reverse here, and it's following the High Priestess in reverse, it's like you're not listening to your intuition. They're not listening to the intuition, okay? Because there's all this doubt and fear and controlling energy again. So what does it do? This time it reverses the Wheel of Fortune. So it's saying luck is not on your side, too much stagnant energy, lack of abundance, okay, because of this not wanting to go inward and use your intuition, that gut feeling in your stomach that's like, oh wait, I know what this means, etc. Okay. Now, going forward here, Aquarius, it seems like there's some kind of message that comes in the week of December 6th or so. It could be a small message, a big message, a medium message, right? It could be a message that you gave to someone, or someone gave to you, or a general message from the universe, from your spirit guides, your ancestors, guardian angels, whatever kind of faith kind of you identify with, right? But this Eight of Swords, it also talks about, not swords, I'm sorry, Eight of Staves, or also known as Eight of Wands in this deck, is about your instincts and intuition, okay, which kind of relates definitely to the High Priestess we just talked about. But you see these wands, these staves going really fast in the air, and they're kind of surprising these birds, right? And it's kind of this energy of fight or flight mode, right? So it's not saying that the communication is necessarily good or bad. It's just saying that it's surprising. Again, whether it's a bigger type communication or smaller. It could be a text message or email if it's small. If it's a bigger communication, as an example, it could be talking on the phone or meeting in person, whatever, okay? But it comes in here and it kind of maybe shakes things up a little bit and then in the middle of that week of December 6th or so. Now, going forward here, Aquarius, your 9th tarot card is the Five of Swords in the right side up position. So this is actually, I said earlier that, oh, your swords cards in a negative placement are done. Well, I forgot about this one. So it just looks like you may be finalizing a little bit of this energy, but things do turn around. So don't worry, because your next group of cards, your next 3 weeks and your last week of December, first week of January are really positive. Okay. So don't take too much into this. Okay. When things are always there for a reason and there's a lesson we can learn, right? So anyway, your 9th card is the Five of Swords in the right side up position. So this talks about not focusing enough on the present moment, okay, in some way. So the swords, like we talked about, represent anxiety, worry, overthinking when they're in the downwards position. So there could also be this competitive type energy that you have with yourself and with others, or just with others, that's like holding back your abundance and actually bringing more confusion. And it's a very defensive energy as well, right? So you see this Japanese person, can't talk, Japanese person, this sounds weird, holding all these swords, right? They only really need one sword. So traditionally, when you see this card in other decks, there's two people behind the main person in the center, and they represent they just went to battle and they've dropped their swords on the ground, and then he's rushing around and picking them all up. So those two people represent, some people say, the past and the future. So focusing too much on the past or focusing too much on the future as well, but not focusing on the here and present moment, okay? Now, before we get into your second group, all those yummy good cards I was talking about earlier, yummy good cards. I don't think I've ever said that. That's funny. Anyway, we are going to talk about your tarot confirmation card here that confirms the first 9 cards, okay? So here is a little bit of some of that Leo energy that I talked about as well. The Leo energy was also present in the 2 Wheel of Fortunes. But here's the official Leo card, but this time it's in the reverse position. So it's the Strength card. Oh, this lighting in the reverse position here, okay? Maybe I'll just turn this light off now that the incense is done. Let me do that. Hold on, guys. Because it's hot and it's too bright. Okay. Because then it blows out the cards and you can't see them as well. That's better. Okay. I think so anyway. All right. So the Strength card in the reverse position, obviously it's like a feeling of I'm not feeling particularly strong right now. I'm not feeling particularly abundant or creative or passionate. I'm having a hard time getting a forward momentum going. Again, a little bit of that stagnant energy. So this card is kind of confirming what we already know, right? Because you had that High Priestess in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, all the Swords cards in the reverse position, okay? So it's just kind of confirming what we already know. Now, make sure I put these back the way they were, in case we need to look at them again. So again, I think that, I say again too much, guys, sorry. Sometimes I rewatch the videos and I'm like, why do I keep saying that? It just comes out. I'm working on it. Anyway, I really would focus for this first 3 weeks or even before that and beyond that, right? Since time is fluid and relative, the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position in the way, way back past, right, is because somebody let go of that controlling energy coming from a place of fear or lack. And so that gets the wheel moving again. So that could also just be a hint of why we have these cards in these placements again, okay? All right, now going forward to your second group of cards here, Aquarius. Let me move this so you can kind of see what we have. I don't know if you can't see it in detail, but at least where I'm pointing to. Just check out the photo again if you want to. After the reading is done, I'll post it. So now we're talking about the week of December 13th is your 4th row here in the second grouping of cards. Okay, so we'll go ahead and call everything out and then we'll go in order. So you have Prince of Staves, also known as Prince of Wives. Okay, maybe there's something to do with wives, but I meant to say Prince of Staves in the reverse position. Weird, okay. Sometimes I say things and then later I'm like, oh, maybe that resonated with somebody since it is a general reading. But staves and wives or even the word wise is completely different. So I don't feel like it's a slip of the tongue. But anyway, going forward, your, what is this, 11th card is the Wheel of Sacred Circles. Oh my God, I cannot talk. The wheel. 4. I'm going to just slow down. Maybe I had too much coffee. 4 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. 10 of Swords, right side up. Ace of Staves, right side up. 10 of Sacred Circles, right side up. The Fool in the right side up position. 7 of Sacred Circles, right side up. 10 of Cups in the reverse. And 9 of Sacred Circles, right side up. Okay, those are your cards. We're just calling them out, and then we'll get into obviously what's on the top of the bottom afterwards and your confirmation card. Okay, And hopefully I will still be able to slow down and talk clearly, but okay, one second. Okay, I did not sleep very well last night. I took my cat with me to go see my family, and she meowed the whole night trying to get out of the room. So I'm a little fatigued from that, but I love my babies. Anyway, going forward here, Aquarius, your 10th tarot card, right, is the Prince of Staves in the reverse position. So this talks about in that week of December 13th or so, there's a lack of confidence here. Maybe there's a little bit of this not quite ready to level up in some way, because normally a prince, right, is on his way to become a king, but it's in the reverse position. It also can talk about maybe there's some emotions resurfacing or coming back or just coming out of nowhere here that is having this lack of confidence or this lack of wanting to step into a leadership role or elevate and go to the next phase of some sort of role, right? It could be also a relationship or whatever it is. It's like avoiding the next step in some way, okay? Because the Nile River is also behind this Egyptian man in the background. So again, the water represents our emotions, but it's in reverse, okay? Excuse me. Now, your second repeating card, and it's really interesting, is the Four of Sacred Circles in the reverse, also known as Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So let's go back to it. They're both reversed, okay? Interesting to see how the different artists depict the same kind of energy. Okay, so this one with the yellow border is the way back past energy, and this is more future current energies going on in the week of December 13th. Okay, so what did I say before? I said the more that you can let go, or the other person or general environment situation, of that restrictive energy of operating. Sorry. Hermes, Kim, no. Oh, see, that's why I have music. No. Okay. Sorry. The more that you or the other person in general environment situation can let go of that restrictive energy of operating from a place of fear or lack, right? It also, this card talks about communication, because the way that this one is shown is this Native American man is smoking, right? And normally you think of the peace pipe of wanting to sit down and share the peace pipe with someone. So having a communication that is open and receptive to coming to a place where you both understand something or find some type of peace, right? But it's in the reverse position. So that could also be something that was going on in the past as well. Only kind of on this card. The other one, it's the same card, right? But it's a little bit of a different meaning here with this card because of the imagery and stuff. But again, real quickly, anytime you see the same card in the same position, Hermes, come here. No. This is a particular message from Spirit to pay really close attention, right? Because it's 1 in 72 chances that this card is going to come out again in a different deck. And I shuffle and cut the deck many times, okay? All right. So moving on, though. This is good that the second one, your same card, came out in the same position, in the reverse position. That's how you want to see that card. Because then what does it lead to? Your 11, 12th, your 12th card here is the 10 of Swords in the right side up position, okay? So you're like, why would that be good? But it's bringing it to a head in some way. I kept saying that maybe the reason why the 5 of Swords right side up came here at the end of that third week, the week of December 6th, because there was still a lesson or some healing that needed to be done here. So here it almost comes to like the maximum level, which is not fun or comfortable, right? So again, we're talking about anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in your head, but also exhaustion, because this Japanese man has put all these swords into this person's body that's laying down, okay? You're saying, well, how is that good? Because maybe it brings you or the other person or the general environment situation or multiple people, right, to this place of like, oh, this can't go on anymore. I'm so tired. I feel like I'm dead. This can't go on anymore. So once that kind of happens, it's like a catalyst here for you, Aquarius. Then you have the Ace of Staves in the right side up position. So now this creative energy is back, this abundant energy, this moving forward for momentum, positive energy here. And this is your 13th card, and it's the week of the week we're still currently in, the week of December 20th, since today is the 25th. Okay. So it's also about, since it's a wand, also known as a stave, right? It is a phallic symbol, and so it's about fertility. Not only is it about if you're a woman and you're trying to have a baby, it's more of a metaphor for birthing something new, a new relationship, a new job, a new work project, creative project, whatever it is, okay? But really nice energy here, and this is what I kept saying in the beginning of your reading, like just wait till we get to this group of cards because they're really good, yummy, good cards. Okay, and now moving forward to your 14th card, another beautiful card, the 10 of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So 10 is a completion number in the tarot, right? It could be now you're leveling up in some way, going from one position to a higher position in a relationship, a higher level of commitment, or in a work situation, again, moving up in a work position, like let's say before you're a manager and now you're a CEO, something like that, okay? Or whatever it is you're watching this reading for. But it's also, this abundant energy, and it's a sense of community and maybe even celebrations in some way, right? If we're talking about, and you do have some kind of holiday celebration during this time, since we're in the week of December 20th and today is the 25th, this could also be something to do with the general astrology and the timing of year and the end of one calendar year and the beginning of another calendar year right around the corner. So even if you don't, let's say, celebrate Christmas, right, because not everybody celebrates Christmas, it could just be something about the new year, right? Whatever it may be. But it is a very abundant energy, right? Since sacred circles in this deck represent pentacles, okay? But pentacles and abundance and wealth, right, isn't just about money. It's about whatever you currently want to manifest in your life. It's like feeling like, okay, now I have all the tools and resources I need to move forward, and I'm part of some type of community. When you see these little Native American huts, all gathered together in this winter scene, okay? Now, it is also interesting, too, that you see the full moon in the background because we had the full moon in Gemini on December 19th, and this is the week of December 20th that we're in now, this fifth row here. So it could be also kind of like hinting at maybe something that was at its height right before or during the full moon that reached maybe the climax with the 10 of Swords in the right side up position that became that catalyst for then this really positive forward momentum coming in. All right, now moving forward again. Your, what did I say, 13, 14, 15th tarot card is the Fool in the right side up position here, Aquarius. And this is really nice energy as well. It's all about taking a leap of faith. It's about new beginnings. It's about, can be, looking in the mirror, right? There's a mirror behind this tarot reader, and she's holding a card that actually is the mirror image of herself holding the card. It's kind of cool if you can see it, and it's really small. But, it brings up issues of identity. Like, am I going to look like the fool? Am I looking foolish? Do I care what other people think? Am I looking foolish to myself? Like all of those kind of type of questions about this leap of faith that maybe you are making or someone else might be about to make, okay? But it is about new beginnings and trust, right? When you see this card in other decks, sometimes it's a guy and his dog, and they're on one side of the cliff, okay? And then they have to jump to get to the other side because they can't cross and there's no bridge. So it's about that leap of faith. Literally, he's leaping over, but it's like trusting that you will get to the other side, okay? Now, your 16th card here is the Seven of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So it looks like if there is some type of leap of faith or trust that you need to make, or someone close to you needs to make, or the general environment situation that you find yourself needs to make, right? It looks like it will be very fruitful and abundant, okay? Because then in your last row here, this is the week of December 27th to about January 2nd or so. Again, not exact. But you have the Seven of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So you see all these fruits, gathered together, right, to prepare for the winter, okay? It's 7, it's not 10. Remember back here, you had the 10 of Sacred Circles, and now going forward, you have 7, okay? So it's not a 10, but it's not a 2 either, right? So it's slowly stacking your abundance. The pentacles and the sacred circles are abundance and money and whatever you're manifesting in your life, preparing for the future, right? If you're talking about back in times when some people are still farmers, right? But back then, maybe if we're thinking about even Thanksgiving, right? Kind of be a Thanksgiving kind of scene, or just preparing some grains for the winter time when certain plants and things aren't growing. So it's about preparing for the future and putting things aside for the future, right? Putting money aside, but not just money, whatever it is you are trying to manifest, okay? Now, trying to figure out when to talk about this. Hold on. Yeah, I guess we'll do it now. Sorry, just trying to figure out when we're talking about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here in relation to all of these cards, but also to the next one we're going to talk about. So what's on the top of the bottom is energy from the way, way back past, right? It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. Okay, but it's kind of why certain cards in the second group here have come out the way that they have. So you have the Seven of Swords in the reverse position on the top of your deck, and you have the Five of Sacred Circles, also known as Five of Pentacles, in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck here, okay? So this is really talking about here, Aquarius, the way that it came out with your other cards. It's like maybe somebody's expectations were too high, or somebody was worried about their expectations being too high about planning something for the future or storing something away, right? When we just talked about the Seven of Sacred Circles, because your 17th card is the Ten of Cups in reverse, okay? So it's like we go from planning for the future, abundance, right, to, oh no, I'm not happy about something. I'm not content about something. The cups in the tarot represent our emotions. So somebody's not happy about something here. And when we talk about it again with what's on the top and the bottom here, that's why I said perhaps maybe someone's expectations were too high. Oh my God, it's going to be a rainbow and a party and a castle. I'm going to level up in some way, okay? But maybe they're worried that their expectations were too high, either yours or theirs or everybody in general environment situation. Because when we talk about it with these two cards, this past energy, this is like kind of this gossiping energy in the way, way back past, okay? With the Seven of Swords, if it was on the right side up position, but not knowing when you've won, okay? People are whispering in the background and watching this Japanese guy take all his spoils and his wins, okay? But when it's in reverse, it's like somebody in the past let go of caring about, again, what people think or some type of gossiping energy. And also not caring about when people didn't realize, because when this card is right side up, he actually won all of these swords through some type of competition. So he won them fair and square, but other people don't see it that way because maybe they think it's too good to be true and he's smiling about it or whatever, right? So it's like letting go. When we go back to the Fool too. Do I care what other people think? Do I look foolish to myself or others? Do I care if I know that I've earned something fair and square? Okay. And also with this five of sacred circles in the right side up position, it's like asking the hard, important questions, leaving some type of social scene, okay, to then go off and go into some type of spiritual retreat or ritual. You see these two Native American women, and one is opening the hut for this female shaman like figure to come out with the headdress on, okay? And this five of sacred circles in this particular deck really reminds me of the hermit that you had in the first week in the first group, right? It's like going within, taking a social break in some way, finding your own answers or rest, or calling on, a sage, a person of a certain age that has wisdom to help you through this, okay? Now, I really just feel that, that there's a little bit of this blockage here or challenge or something to remind yourself for this last week of December and first couple of days of January, perhaps, where it's like somebody's expectations could be too high, or they're emotionally upset about something. They're not content with their emotions or their fulfillment or where their life is going or whatever you're watching this reading for. Excuse me. So I really feel that it can be easily solved because it's like letting go of gossiping or naysayers or even how you view yourself or the other person views yourself, whatever general environment situation, and going into this kind of calming energy of the five of sacred circles and the hermit, and getting advice from somebody who's maybe been in a similar situation or circumstance or can guide you in some way, okay? And it looks like it works out because your last card in the main center here, your 18th tarot card, is the 9 of sacred circles in the right side up position. So this is 9, right? Almost being 10. So it's like maybe now you're ready to level up, or they're ready to level up in some way in a relationship, in a job, whatever it may be. Okay. But it's also about skill, determination, and focus, with the falcon in the background here behind this kind of elderly Native American woman that's burning something and playing with the rattle. Okay. Making music. Right. And so the falcon sometimes has blindfolds on, right? But they give the falcon some kind of goal to like carry this message or go get this piece of fruit or whatever they teach the falcon to do. And so they have to like rely on their other senses too, and have to like think clearly in their mind. So it's like here at the end of December, Aquarius, and the beginning of January, you could be manifesting this energy of the falcon, right? You're getting really clear-headed. And you have the skill and determination and focus, and you're leveling up, and you're stacking your abundance, and you're moving forward. So, really beautiful things here. Now, really quickly before we end the tarot part and get into your oracle cards, we also got to talk about your tarot confirmation card here that is confirming all of these cards, your last 9 cards in the second row. Let me just turn the music up. Okay, so your confirmation card here in the reverse position. And when it was on the table, right above it was your other cups card, the 10 of cups in reverse. They're both in reverse. So this is confirming that someone is not happy about something here in that last week of December or first week of January. It could have something to do with communication, because the Knight of Cups is normally, when it's right side up, about a communication. So maybe a communication didn't come through that you were going to give, or someone was going to give to you, or from the general environment, universe, your guides, your ancestors, whatever you believe in, right? It just wasn't the right time, okay? Because maybe somebody's emotions were all over the place. We know that, right? Because the cups in the tarot represent emotions, but also the water that this knight would normally be galloping through with all these emotions here. So someone needs to get a handle on their emotions and maybe ask themselves, why am I not happy with this? Why am I not emotionally content with this? So, that would be, again, going inward, with the Hermit, with the Five of Sacred Circles. And so, having that rest too, if it's something about maybe it just you're exhausted, who knows? Okay, it's going to be different for everybody. But I still really feel that it will come out really positive for you, because again, this is your last card, the Nine of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So having the skill, determination, and focus of the Falcon, abundance, moving forward, okay, leveling up almost in some way, 9 almost being 10. All of those good things. All right. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And feel free to let me know in the comments down below if this resonates, or if you just want to say something. You're always feel free to. So that's what we have for the tarot. But before you go, because I know we're getting close to almost an hour here, since we're covering a 6-week period. In the past, I was usually doing 2 weeks periods or just a month, but here it was a little longer, so that's why the video is a little longer. But anyway, your first oracle message, your love oracle message here, whether you're watching for romantic reasons or platonic love with friends or family or self-love or all of the above, right? This feels like a very Aquarius card. Hopefully you understand what I mean when I show you. It says, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. The reason why I say it feels like a very Aquarius card is because there's a generalization. It's not true for everybody, but that Aquarius energy often feels like an outcast, and they feel different, right? And they feel that maybe they don't meet society's expectations. So here it's reversing it, and it's like you need to be open-minded about other people as well, okay? So if you are watching for romantic reasons, right, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectation. But if it's about friends or family, maybe there's a family member that does something, or has either already done something or done something in the past that maybe you didn't expect them to do because of their role within the family or how you know them. But it's saying keep an open mind. And same thing with friends or family, right? Keep an open mind. We just said family, with friends. Keep an open mind with friends as well, right? You might see someone, and the first time you'd be like, oh, I'll never be friends with him, or oh, I'll never be friends with her. But then if you keep an open mind, be like, oh, actually, I do have something in common with them, and oh, they looked a certain way, but now when I hear them talk or actually talk to them, they're completely different than I thought, okay? And if it's self-love, you have to keep an open mind about the different parts of yourself as well that you're learning to love, right? Because if you're working through, if you're doing your shadow work and identifying and pulling out the swords, right? Ton of swords that you had over here, right? Or if it's just like you're overexhausted or you have anxiety, worry, overthinking, if you identify those things and bring out those shadow sides that maybe you don't want to show to others or even admit that's there, then you will be more abundant and more open and have things coming to you, right? Because you see this little angel like Cupid guy above. There's a couple of them flying around above these two women and this guy, okay? So without rambling too much about that, let's go forward. Your last oracle message here, this is from the Kalima oracle deck that my dear friend recently gave me, and it's really beautiful imagery, but the artist is Jimmy Manton, and the author is Elena Fairchild. So Kalima, the way that I understand it, from the Hindu religion, is someone that you would pray to for justice. And there's many different manifestations of her. And some of them I had never heard of before, but it's also about, female power, about Shakti energy. And it's just super interesting. And I love the imagery here. Okay. So anyway, your Kalima Oracle card, and I really hope I am saying this right, is Kajaga. I'm gonna try. Okay, I'll show it to you in just a moment, but there's these two skulls here, and there's a sword in between them, and they're kind of floating. Now, both of the skulls here don't have a bottom jaw. I believe, I think either Capricorn or Sagittarius got this card recently, because I just remember like them talking about it in the book, that it was something of importance that there wasn't the bottom jaw. So we'll talk about that real quickly and I'll clarify. Okay. But yes, this is card number 9 out of the Kalima Oracle deck. And it says, Kaja is the Sanskrit word for sword. That's the sword we see right there. Devta Kaja Hastan. Wait, Devta Kaja Hastana means, sorry if I'm mispronouncing, means the divine mother who wields the sword. What is this sacred weapon? The sword severs, breaks, and destroys. It can be a symbol for truth and the need for the soul to let something or someone go, even though the attachment of the ego may demand that we remain connected out of fear of loss or fear of the pain of loss. Oh my God, that's so, one of your repeating cards. The 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 4 of Sacred Circles in reverse, right? Letting go, not being scared or operating from a place of fear. Okay, just want to show you that. Yes. And what else do it has to say here? Where's the part about the jaw? I know I saw it. Hold on. Or maybe it was a different card, but I thought it was. Okay, I'll find it. Anyway, let's see what else it says. It says, Kaja, she wields the holy sword of divine severance, empowering the soul and radical letting go. She instills the courage to bear the pain of loss and the wisdom to realize the secret blessing that can only arise when we embrace change. Where our strength of will may falter, she intervenes to ensure we do not sabotage our ultimate fulfillment and spiritual progress. She will not allow our souls to be ensnarled in any kind of deception or trapped in fear. She is the liberator, and the sword clears the path, revealing truth. I really want to find this jaw thing. Maybe it was in one of the other cards, but I thought it was this one. It has something to do with society and your throat chakra and talking, because it was missing the jaw. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry, guys, hold on. Maybe it's a different one. I don't see it. Okay, well, maybe that will resonate for someone, right? Because like I said, it's not there. You don't see the bottom jaw. But it's not talking about that in particular with this card. Okay. So moving forward, there's one little prayer and then we will end. All right, so this is the invocation ritual for her. And it says, Beloved Divine Mother, Kali Devda Kajaga Hastana. Kajaga Hastana. Hastana. Okay, I'm trying my best. You wield the divine sword of protection that serves attachments and allows for spiritual progress and freedom for the heart to find and express divine fulfillment. May the progress of letting go bring me peace and receptibility to the great blessings you generously bestow upon me for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Ja Kali. All right. And it says you may wish to do a meditation and the Savasana Pose, which they call the corpse pose in yoga, which is where you lay down completely and your arms, right, are stretched out and your legs are you're laying down, okay? And it says laying down on your back with your arms and legs slightly apart. This can be done in a slightly darkened room. That is optimal, but it doesn't have to be. You can rest an eye pillow or a lightweight scarf over your eyes. You can do this as a seated meditation also if you prefer. Okay, get to the point. Notice your breath and allow yourself to physically, emotionally, and mentally let go, becoming pleasantly heavy and relaxed. You may sense stillness or begin to notice pain or tension as you become more present in your body. Be with whatever is happening without judgment as you continue to breathe in and out. Okay. As you rest and let go, you are allowing for the grace of Kali Ma to gently and firmly clear and support your being. If you sense you're unable to let go at a deeper level, be kind to yourself. Kali's patience is unending. She knows that when you have had enough of the pain, you'll be ready for her grace. And until that time, you are learning. Okay. Rest here for as long as it's best for you. When you're ready to complete your process, slowly get back up and arise. Place your hands in prayer at your heart and bow your head. Honor the divine wisdom temple of Kali that exists within your heart. All right. So really interesting. Hopefully you got something from that for this time period and beyond. But if you want to look more into it, since I didn't read all of it, you just, again, look up the Kali Ma Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild and then look for this card right here. All right. So hopefully I pronounced it okay. But yeah, that is your reading, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for your likes and your shares. It does help my channel and is a free way to support. When you like the video, not only is it telling me that you like it, but it's about YouTube's algorithm, and it'll share. The more likes it has, it'll share with other people. And what else? Oh yes, if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, it is free too. All you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right there and make sure it's blue and it's active, and it'll just tell you when I put out new videos. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and happy holidays again if you celebrated anything or are celebrating something. I'm going to take a little bit of a break here, and then last but not least, I'll come back with Pisces later tonight. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. All right. Bye.